Big Z Reviews. Itsy Bitsy is a new indie horror film that was just released in video on demand and in select theaters. And, I checked it out, and it is pretty bad. I mean, it has some good stuff, but as a whole, it's not very good.
A legend can't be explained by science. You believe in something long enough, it becomes reality.
So I kickstarted this film around a year ago or something. I think I ordered a Blu-ray copy of it, and this now is this is the release of it, and it looked cool. It looked like the people really loved going into it. It looked like they had a lot of cool things about it, but it's kind of disappointing. For the actual creature horror sort of things, some of the stuff was good. I liked some of the stuff they did. They did a couple of practical effects that looked pretty good. But then they also had digital effects for the spider. And, you feel bad, it's an indie film, they don't have enough money to do something good. But if you can't do something that looks good, why not try to work around it? Do something practical, do something that looks better than the horrible CGI. It's like a sci-fi show, a sci-fi creature horror show. I mean, I've seen worse CGI than this, but it doesn't look great. But to me, probably the biggest fault of this film is that the mom character is a horrible person. She is a bitch. She is a huge see you next Tuesday. And, she is your entrance character. You're supposed to follow her along for the whole movie. And, I don't know. I mean, the direction is okay by Micah Gallo. And, the stars, it's funny. At first, they have their two kids. And I was like, oh, kids in an indie horror film, they're going to be horrible. And, yeah, they're annoying, especially at the beginning. But, they're kind of the most likable things about them, especially the young boy, played by Armin Darbo. I kind of liked him after for me. He usually in a horror film, you have the kid characters. They're supposed to do stupid things, get in trouble, and then the parents or whatever have to save them. And in this one, a lot of times when they're a kid, you're not supposed to like them. Then a lot of times you have another horror films, you have more of an older teenager. And that's more of an entrance character for teenagers that might be watching it. I think that he is too young for this role. He's 11, 12, maybe. And his sister is 6, 7, something like that. And, it's so odd. The way they set things up is they have the mother, Kara Spencer, played by Elizabeth Roberts. She is a nurse, and she is leaving New York to go be an in-home nurse for this rich guy, Walter Clark, played by Bruce Davison. And the setup for this, they're on the drive, and they're on the drive over, and it's oh, I'm taking this job so that I can, I can spend more time with you. I can actually sit with you for, breakfast and dinner and tuck you in at night, and all that stuff. But then when they go there, there's nothing of the sort happens. The character, the mom, he leaves the kids in the morning and goes over to this guy and then spends all day and night there and comes back at home and they're already asleep. And it's okay. It's weird. At one point in the movie, she goes to a diner to have lunch by herself, and so she leaves the person she's supposed to be taking care of alone, then she leaves her kids alone, and finally the daughter gets a chance to go up into the spider goddess filled attic and play with and possibly be killed, and the boy goes over to the older guy and hangs out with him, and that's some of the best stuff in the movie, the interactions between the older guy and the son. And I wish there was more of that, because they're the two most likable characters in the movie. But it's so funny that, like, this woman, she, like, they do the backstory. They don't do the backstory great, but the idea is that she was in a car accident that seemingly is her fault, where her baby was killed. And she, I assume maybe she got hurt too. So now she's addicted to painkillers. And I assume she got fired from her job because maybe she was stealing painkillers. Like, I mean, and that's, I don't know how she kept her nursing license so that she could be a home nurse for this rich guy. But she's so unlikable. But she has, like, severe PTSD. Like, she just sitting in the car, and she looks over and sees another car with a woman driving and a baby in it, and she's like, "Whoa! Oh my God! Oh!" And it's like, oh, it's so heavy-handed, and it makes the character so unlikable too. Like, she's so mean to her kids. Like, she's yelling at her kids, like, "I just need you to do one thing. Just look after your sister." And the son is like, "One thing? I have to wake up, I have to dress and get the daughter ready, I have to feed her brunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner." And it's like, there's so many things to do when you don't realize it. And it's like, and I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, I agree with the kid. I mean, I think they're trying to do, like, a redeemable character. She has to overcome her problems to save her kids. But, yeah. So I haven't really mentioned the setup for the film, but the idea is that this Bruce Davison, he is a collector, and he apparently has interacted with this tribe that worships the spider goddess. And is he, like, his adopted son, or someone that his wife, that loved his wife, that, like, decides to, like, give him a gift, but also curse him by killing this tribe and taking this black egg and given to him, and then breaking it in his room, and that releases the spider thing, the giant spider. And, you know, they have to go after all of them. And I think as a creature horror flick, I really wish that there was a higher body count. Because, I mean, there's, like, 2 people die, and that's it. And it's like, I think that if there's ways they could have brought more people in, or had a bigger climax. And I know what they did, they wanted to make, you know, the mom be the hero. But they could have done so much more. And it's, like, stuff they did, like, some of the creature stuff is okay. I like some of the stuff. But way too often they have, they try to do a jump scare, but not even good jump scares. But they're like, "Oh, there's a spider there!" And like, "Is it time for them to die?" "Oh, no, it's not. It's gonna crawl away." And it's like it does it way too many psych outs. And at some it gets kind of annoying. Like, gee, this spider really doesn't want to bite anyone. But I don't know. The movie just isn't that good. And it's sad to say because I really was looking forward to it. But, I mean, I guess they just, with the budget limitations and the CGI and the characters, I mean, the acting is okay. But I think it's just more of the writing of the characters is lacking. And, you know, I would not recommend it. But, you know, it's not horrible. I mean, there's definitely a lot of worse stuff you could see out there. But I'll probably give it like a 5.5 out of 10. But thanks for watching. Check out the replays from ahead and subscribe to NetZ over there. Thanks. This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.